best-selling author of the book you hold in your... Dr. Rich lectures all around the country, and he takes lots of media requests. We'll show you some of that video footage in just a moment. If you'll please take a second and silence your phones, we'll get started. Now for those highlights.
Castellano is wearing something new.
Dr. Rich Castellano money. Dr. Richard Castellano says laser lipolysis gets his vote.
Dr. Richard Castellano.
We asked Dr. Castellano to come in.
To Dr. Rich Castellano. The board-certified facial plastic surgeon is one of the first in the country to use Google Glasses while he's working on patients.
Dr. Rich Castellano says that's one main reason behind this new trend. Less expensive, less invasive cosmetic face procedure.
So she turned to Dr. Richard Castellano for an ImageLift.
Thanks to Dr. Castellano, and I just feel like $1 million. I don't.
Dr. Castellano says he's seen a spike in patients like Elizabeth who feel they are being discriminated against because of their looks.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a big round of applause for Dr. Rich Castellano.
Thank you so much. Please a big round of applause for our team who set this up. It's not easy to set these things up, and we're so grateful for them. I am so proud of our team. They take such great care of me. I feel very loved, and they will take great care of you. So we are really excited that you're here. We love putting on parties. It's not that hard to put a party on in the villages, right? So we're excited that you're here, and we're very grateful to be a part of your life, to help you with what's important to you. So everyone in this room has an energy that's inside of them that drew you here. There's a lot of different places you could be. There's something inside of you that caused you to pick the phone up or type out an email, say, I'd like to come. You had to block your schedule, you had to get ready, and everybody looks so nice. And whatever that energy is that brought you here, we're here to satisfy that. We want you to be happy. Now, there's different reasons people come out, so I will ask, what was it that brought you out today? Was there anything specific that you wanted to learn more about today? We're going to talk about fillers and non-surgical, but was there anything specific that you wanted to learn about? Yes?
Yeah, I'd like to find out more about the permanent filler.
Yes.
I don't even know about the transitory filler.
Yes.
But fillers moving around doesn't excite me. So.
Moving around. Well, thank goodness fillers, now you talk about transitory, there's temporary fillers, but there's not so much mobile fillers. They pretty much stay where you put them. I mean, anything can happen, but that's why you want to make sure you have the right doctor. Fillers pretty much stay where you put them, so we'll get into that. So we will talk about fillers, thank you very much, long-term and short-term. Any other areas that you'd like to learn about, or anything else you'd like to talk about?
Dark,
yes.
Dark under the eye.
Dark
area,
circles under the eyes.
And these little...
The smile lines, right? Okay, all right. And I ask this question, I look into the audience, I get sign language. People start pointing out, they say this area here. And so, yes, go ahead, thank you very much.
Old scars.
Old scars, okay, we can treat that as well. So we will discuss all of those things. In fact, we have 4 areas that we treat to help people look younger. You got to keep it simple because it can get a little overwhelming, right? Keep it simple. Number 1, if we sag, just tighten it right back up. Tighten, okay. If we lose volume, she's the woman of my dreams, best thing that ever happened to me. We have 3 kids. My daughter's 14, gonna be 15. She's going through the teenager thing. So sometimes it's hard to smile, but she's still a great daughter. But that makes a difference in what we're doing here. So consider this. If I do a consult with someone and I cannot get that person to smile through the whole consult, what do you think the likelihood is they're gonna smile? After we do our very best work.
They'll smile.
No.
After your best work, it's going to make them beautiful.
See, it's a good point.
Smile.
So, usually what I find, if they don't smile before, they're not going to smile after.
Really?
It's very interesting. It's very, many doctors say the same thing. They say, you know what? You're right. That's why I can never make that one patient happy. So when you can recognize it in the beginning, now it's not that common. It's not that common. But when you find someone like that, I tell them, I still care for them. I say, I don't think that this treatment's going to be right for you. Really? I just want you to be happy. Sometimes we can be a little hard on ourselves. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, we can be a little hard on ourselves. We never see ourselves the way that other people see us. There's a reason for that. Did you ever notice that when we look at other people, we give them a little facial expression? We express ourselves a bit. But if you watch people, when they look in the mirror, they go flat like a stone. Right? They're looking flat like this. If you look flat at someone, they say, what, are you mad at me or something? It's rude to be flat with other people, but we do it to ourselves, and our brain makes us think, this is how other people see you, but they don't. It's okay to have a really high standard. I have really high standards. In plastic surgery, perfection is not your friend, right? If we want perfection in plastic surgery, there are two big problems with that. Number one, if you really want perfection in plastic surgery, you are at risk that you choose something that goes too far. We see it all the time, right? Not in this office. The people you see that have that go too far, they would have had a better result if they come here first. We're not going to go too far. The second challenge, if we want perfection, you may get a really good treatment and a great result. We still won't be happy. So we don't want to be too hard on ourselves. That's the power of smile. We do smile therapy a lot here. We have people look in the mirror and say, hey, you're looking good. Look at that. Huh? Isn't that great? You're worth it. We don't want to be too hard on ourselves, right? We want the best. And none of our treatments look as good as when we put a smile on our face. But we'll help you look younger. If we're lucky, aging keeps coming, right? So 4 categories. Tightening, volume, skin, and then behavior. And then there are 4 principles within each one of those. Number 1, you must look natural. I want you to say that back to me. You must look natural. Okay. Number 2, safety. That's really number 1, but natural is important. Safety. Number 3, prevention. Number 4, improvement. Those are the ones that we want everyone to have, those principles in each one of those. Now, that being said, we're going to show you some before and after pictures, and it is an honor to have people come from all across the country and do our treatments, and we're very honored to be here with you. We were just in Las Vegas talking to other doctors, teaching them about what we do here. We do live video, doing some live video now to show them here's what we do. And it is an honor. Doctors come up to me and say, I love watching your videos. We've had hundreds of thousands of patients all around the world watch our procedures. We do live video during a facelift. We only do that with permission. But that's how they did it in the teaching institutions. The attending doctor does a procedure. The students look over their shoulder and ask questions. We do the same thing here with amazing technology. So we want you to benefit from that. And if you want to keep it private, we do that. But a lot of patients like that. They say, well, their family and friends can watch. I was doing a facelift on a patient, and a little comment came across that said, hi, Mom. I said, oh, is this your daughter's watching? She says, yeah, she's in North Carolina. I said, what does she do? I said, she said, oh, she's an attorney. She said, Oscar's here. I said, well, who's Oscar? She says, that's her dog. We have dogs watching us on. So, all right, so let's start out. The power smile. Now, Judy's a good smiler. Judy's a family woman. She was a caregiver for her family. Has anyone here ever been a caregiver before? Is that easy work? No. It's very difficult, hard to get a break. It's emotional. It can be stressful. She did this for 20 years of her life. Now, it was nice that she could be there for her parents. She did this for her parents. And when her parents passed, unfortunately, her husband fell ill. She was his caregiver for an additional 10 years. After 30 years of being a caregiver, Judy made a confession to her daughter. She said, I feel like I don't even have an identity. She felt she had always been living for someone else. Judy made a very important decision that day. She took a look at herself in the mirror, and as she was looking, she had noticed the aging changes. And when she looked, she noticed that if she pulled back along her jawline, she liked what she saw. Does anyone here ever do that? I did it yesterday.
Before I made the phone call here.
Before I made the phone call. She liked what she saw when she pulled back in the mirror. She came into our office. I will never forget meeting Judy for the first time. You know how when you meet people that have been through difficult things in life, they don't let the little details bother them so much, right? Judy was very humble. She was quiet. She told me about her family. She said that she told me about her goals, what she wanted to do. Her daughter came with her for support. We looked in the mirror. We went through the consultation. I showed her in the mirror. I said, how does that look? She said, I like that. I said, some get a little bit less. Some get a little bit more. If you need to come back another day, that's always better than going too far. So Judy made a decision. She said she wanted to do the ImageLift. She looked to her daughter for support. She gave her the look over the shoulder, like, what do you think? Her daughter said, you go for it, Mom. It's your time. So Judy did laser ImageLift. She did some filler in the cheeks for the hollows under the eyes. Under the eyes, we talked about that. The hollows, you can do tightening, or you can do filler, or you can do both. But if you want non-surgical, you do a little filler. And she also did upper eyelids. We trimmed some of the skin, and here are her results.
Oh, wow.
Thank you very much. Yes, she is beautiful. And notice, see the hollows under the eyes, they improve. They don't go away 100%, but they get a lot better. And she looks natural. So Judy comes in for her follow-up, and I love seeing our patients for their follow-up because they start to stand a little bit taller, their shoulders are back more, they're smiling more. She's wearing brighter colors, she's got the dangly earrings.
She had her hair done.
She got her hair done. And I say, well, what's the response been? What have your family and friends been saying? A lot of patients, they tell me, they couldn't figure it out, right? And they love that. Some patients, they're frustrated because they said, nobody could figure it out. But if it looks natural, they can't figure it out. So she's telling me, and I can see her energy is higher, she's smiling more, and hands are moving while she's talking. She was telling me a story when she was driving with her son. And they were in the car, they got a flat tire. Her son was driving. He pulls over, another couple came to help them. And as they were helping, they were talking with her son. They asked him, how is his wife doing in the car? And she loves being mistaken for her son's wife. And so she's telling me this. It just occurred to me how her energy felt so different. Then when I first met her, she was reserved and calm, and now she's just, she's outward, radiant and beaming. Okay? She had been attending her church for many years. She started to be a greeter at her church. Welcome, come on in. Let me get that door for you. How are you? So good to see you, right? And that's why we love doing events like this, because wherever you are in your life, it is never too late to blossom where we are. It is never too late to do the right thing. We still have many active years ahead of us. I believe that. And you want to make the most of those. So it's an honor that you're here. We're excited to share with you what we do. And then we did that for Judy. We can certainly do great things for you as well. So Sally, she's a swimmer. She did a laser treatment to the face. She did a lift. She's very active and very difficult to see the incision locations. They fade nicely. She brings donuts to the office when she comes in, so we love to see Sally. Mary had been wanting to do the lift for years, but she felt she couldn't because of her budget. She said she couldn't get the financing figured out. She had so many commitments to take care of. So she could not figure that out, but she still had it done. How is that possible? So our team, Mindy, Janine, and Stephanie, if that's what holds you back, just let us know. You'll be amazed how flexible we can be. We did it for her, we can do it for you. Now this next result I'm going to show you is truly our best before and after ever. It shows all the latest technology, the power of smile, surgical, non-surgical. We put it all into one here for you. Did we do a great job?
Yeah.
That's my daughter when she's in 3rd grade. Now she's going into 9th grade. And let me ask you a question. Do you think we ever have people that come to us and they want this kind of improvement?
Probably.
Yeah.
Do we have to have
The
it?
eyelashes.
With the eyelashes?
Happy
Just
with
the
the
eyelashes?
eyelashes.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Look at that.
So if we have to have a talk with someone if they want this kind of improvement. There's a limit on how far we'll go. We'll take things as far as we can. If you need to come back another day, that's better than going too far. Do you follow me on this? All right, you've come to the right place. Now, Melba, she's been out to a lot of our events. She shared her results. She's very active. She called these her Richard Nixon gels. She just didn't like them. She did a lift, she did filler, she did upper eyelids, she did a touch-up procedure, and she looks natural. She's not overdone. She's in her 70s. Difficult to see the incision location. Jeannie's a nurse. She came in, did her lift, loved her results. She came on TV to share her experience. Her family member came in. When people come in, their family and friends usually follow, right? Martin, he's a golfer out here in the Villages. Was in the financial industry, and you notice how the neck and jawline just kind of start sagging down, right? And now it's much tighter. It looks natural. Very difficult to see the incision locations, right? And you see this little sunspot he's got here? It's all the way tucked up behind his ear over here. It's pulled back. Okay? And there he is smiling. We always look our best when we smile. Here he is. Do I need to push my little... We're probably running out of battery. I'll just advance it from here. There we go. Mary came in and she had a lot of tissue to begin with. We did a lift for her. Big improvement. She was not satisfied. So I did a little more tightening. I did an additional tuck, and this is her result. Now she's happy. If we need to come back another day and do more, always better than going too far. Do you follow me? Now her story is her grandson was 5 at the time, and when he would greet her, he would jump into her lap and give her a big hug, and then he would reach his hand up and grab her neck back and pull back and forth, right? She hated that.
No kidding. Gobble, gobble.
No, she doesn't have anything to grab. Now I show Al's pictures because when I do a lift, I'll do a few different versions of them. The ImageLift is the most that I'll do. We do it under local anesthesia. You take a little relaxing medicine by mouth, numbing medicine like at the dentist. We lift the skin, tighten the muscle, trim away the extra skin. If you want to watch it, they're out on YouTube and Facebook and on the internet. Some people say, no thanks, I don't want to watch that. But a lot of patients say, I really appreciate how you kept the patient feeling so comfortable. So the ImageLift is the most I will do, but it is not a traditional facelift. There's no general anesthesia. There's no cut across through here. There's no surgical staples. There's no surgical drains, right? And so this is what patients come to me for. Now there's a step below that, I call it my mid-lift, where it still tightens across the profile, but it's a little less. If someone just feels they want a little less, right? Or it's easier for their budget, that's an option. Now, there's a step below that, it's called the mini. The mini is a great procedure. A lot of doctors will not do the mini. They don't think it's good. I've got a lot of happy patients that have done the mini. It's the perfect treatment for the right person. So when I was talking to Al, I said, Al, he's got a lot here. I said, we should probably do the ImageLift or the mid-lift because I want you to get your best result. His response was, just do the mini. I'll be fine with that. I said, okay. So we did the mini. Now he got a nice improvement, but if you look, he still has a little under here. He's okay with that. But some of our patients, they would not be satisfied with that. So the mini is the right treatment for the right person, but during the one-on-one, we will go through, what are your goals? What's important to you? I'll pull in the mirror and say, how does that look, right? And when I see your response, it becomes very clear what is right for you.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, is that the mini?
Mini.
Him?
He did a mini.
It looks very nice.
Thank you.
Consist of?
We lift the skin, tighten the muscle, and trim away the extra skin. It takes me about an hour. There's physical and social downtime from these treatments. Physically, you get back into your routine within 1 to 3 days. Errands, shopping, things around the house. You may not feel 100%, but you can get into your activities. Socially, you pass the grocery store test. You walk into the grocery, no one does a double take. For the mini, 4 to 7 days. For the ImageLift is 7 to 10 days. It's variable, some are a little less, some are a little bit more, but that's in general what we see. Now, laser tightening, some people call this laser lifting. It uses a laser into the skin. This is 1 day later, and no physical downtime, no stitches, but it does improve this area with some liposuction. It tightens the skin. We lose the elasticity in our skin. It's like the elastic band or the old sock. They get stretched out. It doesn't fit so well anymore. So That was 1 day later. Now this is 8 months later, different patient. And we did some filler in the corners of the mouth and the cheeks. You see it looks very natural, it's not overdone. Nothing replaces the ImageLift. This is a year later from the ImageLift. So the laser tightens the skin only. The lift tightens the muscle, the lift removes the extra skin. So difficult to see the incision locations. Laser tightens the skin, lift tightens the muscle, lift removes the extra skin. We did that for Judy, we did that for Deb. Deb has a radio show, she's a fitness instructor. Laser tightens the skin, lift tightens the muscle, lift removes the extra skin. RJ's an actress, she's on television. We have media personalities that come through. We're going to do some questions at the end. And so I can't get that much improvement unless I'm combining the technology. Some of you may have your photos from when you're younger. It's not mandatory, but if you have those pictures, that's the best guide from where we started. Because we have the 3 areas we change. We sag, we lose volume, and then we get sun damage to the skin. But see how full of volume we are here?
Yeah.
We lose that volume. We've got a little hollow in front of the ear. So the bony prominences in the facial anatomy, in the skull. The brow, put your finger and touch your brow here. You can tap and feel the brow. Tap on your cheek, that's a bony prominence there. The back of the jaw, feel those areas, and then feel your chin. All of those bony prominences, as we get older, we get a little bit shorter. Sorry, I don't make the rules up. We lose bone, and those prominences get a little smaller, and then the facial mask will sag over top, right? So instead of doing brow lifting and raising things up, just reinflate. Just fill it back in, and magically it will make you look younger. So when you have these pictures, it's a very helpful tool. I don't need it, but it's helpful for you to see, here's where we started, here's where we are today, here's what we can do. Doesn't mean I'm going to get you all the way back, but the more volume we put, it gets you closer to that appearance. So Katie's a nurse, she's a figure skater, but you see how full her jawline is here? And see how it starts to kind of fade away. And she's jowling. So we did the lift and filler for her. Not perfect, but better. Liz is 18 here, now she's 72 here. Hollow in front of behind the jawline, and then lift and fill. Facial fillers, we do a lot of the fillers. This woman did fillers, she came through, she loved her results. And you can see there's no downtime for the fillers at all. She came back at about 6 months, and she said, I love the fillers, but they're all gone. So we looked at her before and after pictures side by side, and when she looked at them, she says, oh, I didn't realize the lines were that deep before. There is a famous plastic surgery saying that after we do a cosmetic treatment, our vision will get better and our memory gets worse. So the pictures are very helpful. Now, in general, there are 3 decisions with the fillers. Just keep it simple. Number 1, where? Where do you want the filler? Some people ask for the smile line, some want the cheeks, some want full face. So first decision is where. Second decision, which filler? Temporary, long-term, or middle-of-the-road filler. If you're just starting out and you want to try it and see how it goes, you can try the temporary. The most expensive filler is the temporary. You have to keep replacing it. And once you do fillers long enough, everybody starts to say the same thing. Don't you have something that lasts a little longer? And we do. I train doctors on the long-term fillers, and one of the most common things that I've heard them say is, well, what happens if you do the long-term fillers and they like it and they stop coming back to your office? That's what's best for the patient. That's a good thing. So we want to give you what you're looking for. And what happens is, if we're lucky, aging keeps coming, and we can't stop the aging. But if you put volume in place, it prevents future aging hollowing, that appearance of. So where, which filler, how much of that filler, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. People talk about fat grafting. Fat grafting can be useful, but when I talk to patients a year or 2 afterwards, the most common thing they tell me, I say, how did you like your fat grafting? And consistently, most of them will say, it was supposed to last forever, but it didn't. And fat grafting is a bigger procedure. So instead, we use the fillers, which don't require you to take it from someplace. Some people say, well, I've got some I'd like to donate. But if you need 3 or 4 fat grafting procedures, in my opinion, it's just better to do the fillers, right? You can choose whatever you want. I'm happy to do that for you, but fillers are much more common. Now this is full face long-term filler. This is the Bella fill. She did 7 syringes. Bellafill is made up of 80% collagen and 20% PMMA. The collagen is absorbed and replaced by our body's own collagen. The PMMA is permanent. The FDA describes it as non-absorbable. It's very safe. It's been studied longer than any other filler out there. It's been used in many other medical indications, heart valve, as a substance for hip joint replacement, and also it's been used in the eye, so it's very safe and well tolerated. 7 syringes. Now some people are happy with just 1 session. She's got a little more volume through there. We also took the mole off of her cheek there. This gentleman, he did 2 sessions, so he did a total of 16 syringes. He looks natural. He's not overdone. And this is in less than 30 days. In less than 30 days, no surgery, had a little bit of bruising. So it's pretty remarkable what we can do with the fillers. Laser treatment treats the wrinkles on the face. It is a burn to the skin. You need some downtime. Not so much physical downtime, but more social downtime. Day 7 to day 10 is when you can start to wear makeup afterwards. Okay, we numb you so you don't feel the laser treatment, and then afterwards you just have to keep moist with the Vaseline, and it requires a little bit of maintenance, but on day 7, 8, or 9 you can wear makeup, and you'll be pink. That pinkness fades over a period of 6 to 8 weeks. Okay? This is my Aunt Shirley. She was in her 70s. She grew up on a farm. She did the lift and the laser. She loves her results, and her grandson recently got married, and before her grandson recently got married, her daughter came in and did her lift, and she did very well. Phyllis called these her waffles. She said it looked like she fell asleep on a waffle iron. She did the lift and she did the laser. She's very pleased and a big smile on her face. So let me ask you a question. Have you seen some results that you've liked so far?
Yes.
Would you be happy if you had a result
Oh, yeah.
similar? So what I have found in doing these treatments is really this is about quality of life. If you live here in the villages, you know about quality of life. How many people are here from up north? Do we have to ask why you moved down south?
No.
When you live up north, we move down south because your quality of life will go up. Now, when our faces start to go down south,
Oh, no.
you lift them right back up north, your quality of life goes up. This is also about patterns we get into. Isn't it interesting about how we can go on autopilot for a lot of things? We're all human, but it's interesting how we're in patterns, like when we're driving. You ever have the experience, you're driving your car, you get to your house, as you park, you can't remember the past 5 or 10 minutes you've been driving? Has that ever happened to you? It's like, I hope I didn't run a stop sign or something. Or we put something in the car, the clothes, we're going to drop it at the cleaners on the way, and we're driving, and what do? You go right, because we're in a pattern. Now, when we look in a mirror, if you watch people when they look in the mirrors, that's my job, that's what I do. We have a pattern. We tend to look at the exact same places we always look at. We tend to say the same things that we say to ourselves. When did I start looking like my mother, father, brother? And it makes us feel the same way. Some of my patients, they tell me their pattern, when they approach a mirror, they don't like the way it makes them feel, they don't look. They'll get ready, but they don't look because they don't like, it's a pattern, they don't like the way it makes them feel. So I want to ask you, what do you think, this is Dale, what do you think her pattern was when she approached him, when she looked in the mirror, knowing that she had lost her youthful appearance, she's in her 70s here, what did she focus on? What did she say to herself? And more importantly, how did it make her feel? Dale came in, she did a laser image lift, she did some fillers and eyelid treatment. Do you think she has the same pattern? No. What is she focusing on now? What does she say to herself? And more importantly, how does it make her feel? Dale came out to a lot of our events and inspired many people to do their treatments. I'm sad to say Dale is no longer with us. She had an illness and she passed very quickly. She was one of the greatest smilers you'll ever meet. She was an inspiration to us. She will always be a part of our family. And she is a reminder to us that we live for today. We don't know what tomorrow will bring, but we are grateful that you are here, and we're grateful for the opportunity to serve you today. Everything in life evolves. If you told people 30 years ago what these devices can do today, haven't we come a long time from the string in the can? We've come a long way from that. If you told people what these could do today, they said, forget it. Right? You can't do the tomato can and the string and GPS and all this. It's just amazing. And in a year or two, these are going to be outdated. What else has evolved? Have grandparents evolved?
Yes.
What were grandparents like 30, 40 years ago? Grandparents today, they're hip, they're athletic, they're raising their grandkids. Many are still working. Grandparents are more active now than they have ever been. Plastic surgery has also evolved. The tools we use are better. The results are far superior. It's safer. It's more affordable. There really has never been a better time to do a cosmetic treatment. We're very proud of our book. Our book hit the Wall Street Journal bestseller list. Patients consistently tell me, I'm so glad I read your book. It was very informative. They felt much more prepared for what we do. When you know your options, then you can make a choice that you feel good about. So we're excited to share these things with you and let you know what the possibilities are. Sherry's here today. Now she did a lift, so we got to get ready to update Sherry's picture. Sherry did a lift, and then we recently did a tuck up not too long ago. Because it's been, when did you do your original lift, Sherry? It was how long?
4 years.
4 years ago. We did a little tuck up for her, and looks very natural. Bev comes out to a lot of our events. She did laser and some laser tightening here, so no surgery or stitches, but she did do some laser tightening, resurfacing, and tightening in the neck with the laser lipolysis. Jen is here today. She did a lift. She's done a little tuck-up procedure in the past, and she's done some fillers as well. You must look natural. She's done laser not too long ago. Linda comes out to a lot of our events. How full of volume she is here. A lot of sun damage, wrinkles and sunspots. She did the lift, laser, and fillers. She looks so natural. We're very proud of our patient. She's been married 50 years. Nancy's here today. And just look at her jawline. For the mini lift can do the right thing for the right person, okay? If you need to come back another day, that's always better than going too far. We're very proud of our patients. So, if you've seen results that you've liked, patients will say, well, I want to do a treatment, but if you feel something's holding you back, this is the list of the most common things that people tell us. What is it that holds you back? If you see something here, let us know. It's money. If your budget stands in the way, you'd be amazed how flexible we can be. Just let us know, because we'll put something together. Here's a plan for this budget. Here's a plan for this budget. Here's a plan for this budget. All right? Everyone's different. You only need one plan that works. All right? Okay, they're working on their plan right now. If the budget stands in the way, let us know. Let us know. We'd be happy to work with you. Or you're busy. You just have a busy schedule. You've got mahjong, pickleball, cruises, people coming from out of town. Yes. Right? If you're busy, we have no downtime treatment options. Okay? Some people say, well, I'm allergic to fear. We work best with those patients. My niece was 3 years old when I got the phone call. She fell and she bumped her head. She needed some stitches. Brought her into the office. We numbed her up. We did some stitches, put a little Band-Aid. She did not shed one tear. I promise you, if we can make her feel comfortable, we'll make you feel comfortable too. And you can have a lollipop too. And some people say, I'd love to do this, but I've got so many commitments. Let me ask you a question. How many people here have raised a family? Who gets put first in family? Everybody else. Who gets put last? Mom. That's one of the things I love, love, love about what we get to do. We get to put you first. It's your time. Being selfish is being smart. When you do it the right way, we aren't going to stop giving to our families. We love them. But can we really give if we feel like we're dragging on empty? You can't pour from an empty cup. So being selfish is being smart. Give to yourself. And you actually have more to give, and you will show them. This is how you invest in yourself, because we don't want our families to be dragging on empty. We want to be filled up. Right? You feel so much better, and life is more fun that way. Now, your family and friends, are they going to say things about you after you do a cosmetic treatment? No. They're going to talk about us no matter what we do. You might as well do what you want. This is what we do in a consultation. We start out, where's your area of focus? That's where it starts out. What's important to you? Some people say, well, you're the expert. You tell me what I need. And I will. But it's important that I hear it from you. So that way we know where your focus is. Then we make some recommendations. And then I read your energy and say, oh, that makes sense. You looks like you like that, or this not so much, and we customize a plan. Where are your areas of focus? What's in your heart? Some people get confused and it's easy to get overwhelmed. We make it very simple. Truthfully, there's really not that much to think about. If we're sagging, we're going to tighten. If we lose the volume, we're going to fill. If we get sun damage to the skin, we'll polish and repair the skin. We don't want perfection. If you need to come back another day, it's always better than going too far. So those are the goals. When you ask what's in your heart, it simplifies things. Your heart knows what you want. Right? Your heart brought you here today. So ask what's in your heart, and that will give you a most direct answer. What else have you tried and did it work? Some patients have never done a treatment before. Some patients have done treatments that they like. Some not so happy. Almost every day I'll see a patient that has had a treatment somewhere and they said they weren't happy and can I fix it? You're always better to do it right the first time around. And it's important for us to know that so that way we can work with you. I had a patient come in with a shoebox full of these little buzzers and she would put it on her cheek and say, does this thing help to tighten things up? And maybe, but when they want more results, they come to me, right? What else have you tried and did it work for you? These are the things we talk about during consultation. And do you have downtime available? Yes or no? If you've got downtime, great. If you have no downtime, great. We'll schedule around that. We have no downtime, long-term treatment options for you. Now, safety first. So when we do the ImageLift, that's a surgical procedure. Risks involved, we minimize that as much as possible. Bleeding or fluid collection, we take care of that in the office. Infection, we put you on an antibiotic. Damage to surrounding structures, risk of a weak lip or eyelid is uncommon. It's rare that that would be permanent. It's less of a risk than a traditional facelift. We stay more superficial in an attempt to avoid that. Sometimes a deep stitch we put in can come out of the skin like a splinter. If that happens, that's easy for us to take care of. Everyone's face has asymmetry. My right eyebrow sits higher than my left. You ever notice that, how your face has some asymmetry? Mm-hmm. Everybody's got it. And you're going to have it before and you'll have it afterwards. That's what helps us to look natural. When you do the lift, the ears can be numb afterwards. When the nerves grow back, you might feel itching, tingling, soreness, or pain. Most will say it's numb. I don't really notice it. It's getting better. And it goes away. And the healing process is unpredictable. Most people heal just fine. There are some people that choose to do a touch-up or an additional treatment, may generate an additional expense. More the case, someone comes in, they've got a big neck, we do a nice procedure and clean things up, they get a little relaxation. When they want a touch-up, it can cost more money. In the consult, I will tell you your risk for that is low, medium, high, whatever the case may be, depending on the treatment you choose and depending on your anatomy. Okay? Now, we do these under local anesthesia. These are office-based procedures, right? The risk that someone has to go to a hospital, have a heart attack or stroke is rare. That's why we do things this way. Safer than IV sedation, safer than general anesthesia. Now, fillers. What are the risks for fillers? Risks of fillers are risks of undercorrection. If you undercorrect, you can always come back and put more in. Risk of overcorrection, we go conservatively to avoid that. If you do overcorrect, you can fill the area around to even things out. Risk of lump or bump formation is uncommon. If that happens, it's treatable. Most people feel the filler and say, I know the filler's there, but I don't feel anything. Some say, well, I do feel something, but I don't see it, it doesn't bother me, I leave it alone. Rarely do I make an incision to take a nodule out. My strategy, use a small amount over a large area to minimize or eliminate your risk for that. If I need to treat a nodule or bump and maybe a buildup of collagen, you can inject a substance to help soften that up. Now, I use a safety cannula for most of my injections. What is a cannula? It's basically a soft needle. Less trauma, less bruising. Risk of getting the filler into a blood vessel, causing scarring, loss of vision, damage to surrounding structures is rare. That's why you want an expert injector. Risk of infection, reaction, or prolonged swelling is rare, and that's treatable. So safety first, all right? We like to reward those who take action. For people who place a deposit towards a lifting procedure, an ImageLift procedure, we give you, Mindy, we're doing 1,000 off your ImageLift procedure, lifting procedure, if you put a deposit during the seminar, and that locks in your pricing and it locks in a date for you. Before you leave, we will do one-on-ones. It does not take that long. So when we wrap things up here, we've got the food, we'll bring you back. It takes me just a few minutes, and we're doing a demonstration today. We're doing an injection of Bellafill, all right? We're going to do the raffle drawing, and then you'll see what it's like. It's very simple to do the injection. So we'll do the injection, we'll have the food, and then it takes just a few minutes where I sit down with you, go through the plan, and before you leave, you'll have a plan on what's right for you. Do you follow me on that?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. So we like to reward those who leave a deposit. We love getting referrals. We get referrals almost every day. And I have discovered that you should never tell your family or friends that they need to see a facial plastic surgeon.
No!
Instead, that's good advice. Just tell them, because you went to this nice office, that our esthetician will do a free facial mask for them. Right? No downtime. And when they come in, then we'll have the talk with them. But just have them call in and say, we won't turn them down, we bring them in, and we don't turn anyone down. Anyone calling asking for free facial mask. So that way you can refer them in, but you didn't say they need to see a facial plastic surgeon, they're just getting a free facial mask. So we do love getting referrals. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go through questions, then we'll have our models come up, and we're right on time here. What questions can I answer about what we've talked about? Any questions?
Do you do everything here?
We do everything in the office or in Tampa, either one, but these are office-based procedures. So yes, this is what people prefer. Most people don't want to go to a hospital or a surgery center to do a treatment, so we do it in the office.
The entire bit.
Correct, the whole thing. And if you want to watch it on YouTube or the internet or Facebook or Twitter or Periscope, you can watch it there. Thank you very much. Yes, go ahead.
The mini and the mid,
Yes.
the way you described it, it sounded the same. What was the difference?
The difference is, if someone tells me, I don't care about this here, this doesn't bother me, but I like this, the mini is a good choice. If someone says, you know, if I do the lift and I've got a little something here, I'm not going to be happy with that, then I'm not going to recommend the mini. The ImageLift and the mid will help your profile, and they get similar results, but the ImageLift does a little more. The mid-lift still gets tightening on your profile. The mini will help you here, but it can leave something to be desired. Does that make sense? And during the one-on-one, we'll go through it, and most people have an idea of what's right for them. Thank you very much. Yes, you had a comment? Yes?
I don't have a question, but I just want to congratulate my friend over here who just celebrated, she and her husband Alan, 61 years of marriage.
Wow, congratulations. Isn't that wonderful?
Amazing.
Well, there you have it. So, and look at the big smile on her face too, you know. So,
Isn't she gorgeous?
of course she is. Yes. So these are the things that are worth celebrating in life. They make us feel good. And we have many active years ahead of us. And we make the most out of them. So it's an honor to be here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to have, let me have Sherry and Nancy and Jen, why don't you guys come up and then let's give them a hand. Sherry, Nancy, and Jen have had some treatments, so we'll start with Sherry. So Sherry's an image consultant. Can you share with us what was it that inspired you to have a cosmetic treatment?
Okay, well, 4 years ago, I was sitting where you are sitting now. I just moved to the Villages and retired. Never had time to even think about doing my face. And I had a natural approach. I was never going to do anything. So I came to these seminars, and I thought, wow, maybe I can have a result like that. So I had a medium lift done at that time, because I couldn't do anything with makeup on my face at that time, you know. Anyway, and I felt really young and great. So anyway, I had it, and so I just 3 weeks ago had a lift, because this past year I lost a lot of weight, and I needed a little touch up. So I'm here saying it really wasn't bad, just a little bit of bruising, and other than that it was wonderful. So yeah, I had a mini. So
Can we tell them how young you are, Sherry?
yeah, I'm 70. Yeah, I just turned 70. You're welcome.
Thank you. So, and then Nancy. So Nancy, can you share with us what was it that inspired you to have a cosmetic treatment done?
A couple of things. I lost my husband 16 months ago, and I was a caretaker prior to that to my parents. I just was doing push-ups from the gutter and not getting above the curb. and there was nothing left. And I looked at my face one day and I thought, oh my gosh, who is that old lady? And in order to make me feel good, I decided to investigate Dr. Rich. May I say that I investigated him? He was lucky number 7. And some other doctors wanted to do from here to here. I'm almost gonna be 70. I don't wanna look like a cougar, but I wanna look natural. And take nothing out of this anymore. Take less is best. You always can come back. You do not wanna have a frozen face. And in terms of financial, Dr. Rich is so right. They worked with me. I went into contract, if you will, in February. I did not have my procedure done until July. I was a healthcare professional before I retired, and I am not brave. And I can honestly tell you that every case scenario that you may think of before your procedure is already thought of, taken care of, given to you, medications, questions answered. And I chose to do it in an office because I feel it was safer. I honestly halfway don't remember my procedure.
What did you have done?
I had
She did a mini tuck, and we did a little bit of the laser treatment.
And I had some fillers. I had my procedure done a year ago, next month, and I had some fillers done in between, and I'm thrilled. I am thrilled.
That's good, Nancy. And then, now Jen has been with us for 7 years, going on 8?
I think it's 8, it's like in June now.
Almost 8, yeah, 8 years. And what inspired you, Jen, to do a cosmetic treatment?
In February of 2015, my friends in the neighborhood and I were getting ready for a girls' night out, which I was looking forward to. So I put on a new outfit I just bought, did my hair, did my makeup, put on good jewelry, and as I walked out the door, I glanced in the mirror and did not like what I saw. I thought, no matter how much effort I put forth now, I don't look good anymore. That evening, I was talking to my closest friend, and I said to her, man, I need a refresh. I've lost my self-confidence. I just don't feel good about the way I look. So she looked at me and she said, you brought this up to me a couple times in the last couple months, and she said, what are you waiting for, till you're 80? I was 62 back then. She also went on to offer some other valuable information. She said, think of it this way. Today is not a dress rehearsal for the rest of your life. Today is the first day of the rest of your life. That someday out there is today. So I took her valuable words of advice, and shortly after that had a lift procedure. And then very recently, as Dr. Castellano mentioned, 3.5 weeks ago actually, he did laser skin resurfacing. Did a great job with both. I am just very happy. As he mentioned, I have worked for ImageLift. I think it's in June now. It's been 8 years. So of course, I've seen hundreds of happy patients, and I'm definitely one of them.
So it's important to hear from other patients. Everybody's result is a little different. Some get a little less, some get a little bit more, but when you talk to enough people, read the book, see our pictures, you'll have an idea of what is right for you. So we're going to do the raffle drawing. This is for 1 free syringe of Belafil. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do the demonstration today. So if you're the winner, we'll bring you back, we'll take some pictures, and then we'll do the little injection here. So keep your fingers crossed. If you walked in, everybody was registered. So our very lucky winner here is our lucky winner. It says Myrna Brown. Myrna Brown, there's Miss Myrna. Are you okay to do the demonstration and be injected? Okay, let's give her a big hand. So Myrna, why don't you come on up, and what they're going to do is they're going to take some of your pictures, and then we'll do some of the injection for you today. Congratulations, and thank you so much for allowing them to watch, and they'll bring you right back and get all your paperwork. Congratulations to you, and I'll be right there with you in just a few moments. Congratulations. All right, so at this point, what we're going to do is, for our Regenica and for our Belafil, we have Marisol Rodriguez who's with us here today. Let's please give her a big hand, and she's going to share a little bit about her support and her products. Thank you.
It is always such an honor to join Dr. Castellano here. They're already talking about what they're going to about. For 2 reasons mainly. One is, it's just so nice to hear him say, I love to have a mom take time for herself and be selfish. It makes his heart happy. And to hear that is really a true testament to the type of person he is, and that's kind of important to us when we're looking for a surgeon. But secondly, and almost more important to you, is congratulations for sitting here. I don't think that any of you might realize where you are and whose lobby you're in. So Dr. Castellano, for our company, for Bellafill, has been a Bella Diamond injector for some time, and that's pretty impressive, right? It's top 1% in the nation. Out of all of our thousands of doctors, he's in the top 1%. But even more importantly, he is our #1 facial plastic surgeon in the nation right now. So that's how much expertise, longevity injecting, and how much of an artist that you are in the hands of. So congratulations to you. That's really, really great news. And I had the pleasure of actually spending some time with him this weekend in Vegas for the Vegas Cosmetic Surgery meeting.
You met my wife?
I met his wife, which is so lovely. I had a great time with her. But watching him talk to other well-qualified surgeons and exuding his confidence and sharing his level of expertise was even more resounding, because he's talking to other professionals at his level, or even having had more years and